Hello, 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 and blessed IMBOLC, February 2nd, 2022 at the time of this recording. Welcome to Drawing the Circle Productions. This going out to my patrons on Patreon first, and then eventually hitting YouTube and other platforms. Welcome. I am your host, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive. President of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from Professional Witch, available on Kindle, link in the description box, yes, on Patreon, doing this first for my subscribers, my supporters, my patrons over there, and happy to be doing so. Before we get down to business, because I got all sorts of stuff on the table, I got some stones and a candle and some oils and some research material. I've even got a healing mantra ready for us to do a little bit of IMBOLC magic. So let's talk about it. IMBOLC, the second Sabbath in the pagan wheel of the year, usually celebrated on the calendar February 1st or 2nd, but what we're looking for is the astrological degree of the sun being 15 degrees Aquarius, halfway through the sign of Aquarius, and that's actually happening on Friday the 4th of February 2022 this year. So you have this lovely wiggle room in terms of the magic you want to do. You can do it on any day you want, and please keep in mind a high holy day is the beginning of a season, in this case a month and a half season, from IMBOLC to Ostara, vernal equinox. It's a midway point between Yule and Ostara, winter solstice, spring equinox, so midwinter. IMBOLC means in the belly of the sheep giving birth to the lambs, that kind of deal. We'll get there. But certainly it is as its own 3-month Sabbath, as the cross quarter from 15 degrees Aquarius at IMBOLC. 3 months later is the cross quarter Beltane, the sun 15 degrees Taurus, halfway through Taurus. So you get that it's not just one day, but certainly it's something that you can start at the beginning of the spoke of the wheel of the year and evolve it as you go. In my book, Words of Grace, I correlate the 8 Sabbats of the pagan wheel of the year to the 8 chakras. The basic 7 everybody knows, and the 8th chakra hovering over the head, touching into Samhain. We are looking at the 2nd Sabbath, so we are looking at the 2nd chakra, which is why I will be working with orange calcite, just because the orange color of the chakra, but it's also very sympathetic and in resonance with the qualities that I associate with the 2nd chakra, which we will talk about in a minute. I also have on the table a tea light here that I will be anointing with a specific essential oil, frankincense oil, in this lovely little blue vial that I wear around my neck for the Taurus reads. It's a high healing oil, as well as I have a bookmark page here in Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs for different planetary rulers of different herbs and oils, should you want to do that, because frankincense oil, not the cheapest oil. I get food grade, I actually put it in my mud mask. Good for your skin, but you got to find the right proportion of it, sensitive skin, etc. As well as I said, I also have a healing mantra deck card, just one. They told me to pull. I was meditating before. They're like, do this one. It works really well. It fits really well, I should say, and it is the mantra for expanding inner power. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. So let's talk a little bit briefly about the 2nd chakra, the pump of the Kundalini system, often called the navel chakra, though for myself energetically I tend to feel it about 2 inches under my navel and deep inside. The sacral chakra, one's secret abode, hence the word sacred, and of course the sacrum of your back, part of the lower back, the sacrum, all sort of in that general area. The lower 3 chakras are about relationships and how you navigate your way through the physical literal world. Root chakra is tribal. We talked about that at Yule. Go watch the video. Here we are looking at umbilical relationships, if you will, one-on-one relationships, not down into the earth, connecting to everybody's root chakra, yikes, empaths, but that one-on-one umbilical horizontal relationship that you could perhaps empath another person, feel what they're feeling, the skill, the intuitive skill of empathy, sexuality, creativity, the deadly sin of greed, and the two graces that help heal it, the grace of piety and the grace of mercy. In my book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. If you're on Patreon as a god or a goddess, you get the original version I made that we had to really pare down for Kindle. But also inspired by the work of Defying Gravity by Carolyn Mace, as well as her book Anatomy of the Spirit. So as a true Virgo that I am, I eat information. We're ruled by the intestines. We kind of sort it out, take what works, release what doesn't, and creates something useful and of service out of it. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Briefly, the graces certainly are a subject worth exploring. That's why I wrote a book on it, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Graces are a mystical substance that everyone has access to, regardless of religious upbringing, training, spiritual point of view. It's closer than our own breath, and yet we have to find it. It's an interesting thing that way. But they are different aspects of the divine that the chakras within us are sort of programmed to produce, channel. I mean, I guess I channel grace, but I don't invoke it. I pray for it. I ask for it. I allow it to flow through me. You choose your language for that. And I will say, in one-on-one relationships, it doesn't surprise me that we'll have Valentine's Day during this month and a half to 3 month period, totally about one-on-one relationships, the romantic, sexual. Literally crossing my arms in front of my second chakra right now as the Virgo that I am, and my legs are crossed. So, we have stuff to heal there, right? So, as powerful as this mantra is, and I'm going to read it from the Bookie Book at some point. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. Well, second chakra is creativity, but it's also sexuality. I am at my most powerful when my sexuality is given a voice. But how healthy is the voice, right? So a lot of inner work, even though it's a lower chakra dealing with the outside world. Second chakra is also one of the addiction chakras, hence the deadly sin of greed, the bottomless pit, different than the deadly sin in the throat chakra of gluttony, which is the repetitive choice. Big difference. But both of them can be very addictive and very toxic. So let's talk about piety. Piety is not a fun word. It's like not in the it's not like groovy. I want the grace of groovy, the groovy grace, which I like the groovy grace. We'll make it whatever. It's a thing now. But piety sounds like somebody who's like pickled and a little bitter and holier than thou, and that's certainly the greed of being better than in lots of different ways. Second chakra stuff. But piety is about reverence for the other. Reverence is the grace of the root chakra, but that's all is one. Sacred truth of the root chakra, all is one. Like I said, watch the Yule one I did. And anytime I talk about Yule, I talk about that. But the sacred truth of the second chakra is honor one another. Now, maybe not honor what they're doing, what they're behaving, right? It's hard to honor a narcissist where they are. For example, someone who's tyrannical. But you can honor the soul that is within them, not the ego, not the personality, the immortal soul that was chosen to play that role in that body, and say, you're here to teach me something, and I'm here to teach you something, and I don't know what it is, and I can honor that. And sometimes honoring that means, I'm out of here, right? Sometimes that's how the lesson is delivered. Enough, never again, right? So a little thing that I learned a long time ago is called the sacral voice, the voice of your second chakra. Chakra? Yeah, the second chakra, land of the lost, sorry. Mercury is still retrograde. Say a prayer. The sacral chakra voice, the voice of the second chakra, speaks in grunts. It essentially gives the affirmative and the negative. It goes, and it goes, and it really does, but it takes a while to learn its voice. It is an intuitive voice. It is the intuitive voice of the second chakra, and will tell you, in a way, attraction and repulsion. What is a vibrational match to you horizontally and what isn't. I could teach this in a billion different ways, but the way I find most instant is a little visualization thing, just to tune yourself to it. We're going to close our eyes in a minute just to tune into the second chakra. I'll say a prayer and all that. But it will certainly make sense navigating our way through the rest of what we're going to do here. All right, so just take a moment. Just take a moment. I'll say a little prayersy-waresy. You know, I do like to set up the energy to do this. And for what? 60 seconds? Tune in. Maybe 120 seconds. Just take a few minutes and tune into your body. Getting yourself comfortable in a position you can stay in for just a little bit. Settling in. And just scan the body for any place that feels tight, tense, or holding on. Do whatever you need to do to get physically comfortable. I was shoveling snow. Obviously, I'm in New York. Well, maybe not obviously I'm in New York. I'm in New York. We just had a bomb cyclone or something like that. So that's snow shoveling. It's repairing, but I can give it a little extra support, right? Just so that the body becomes a little bit more of a relaxed place to inhabit for a few minutes. And now just breathe. Take a minute. Focus on your breath. You can't focus on your breath anywhere here but now. Anywhere but here and now. And it's from this deeper, more centered place I offer this prayer. I call to the collective pantheons of the divine for all who are watching this, and any time, in time and place, that we be surrounded now by a force field of light, containing and protecting the work, the energy, the love, the wisdom, the power, the grace that we share together in this time spent. And I ask that all information and energy that exchanges between us in the physical and in the non-physical, all overtones of all dimensions, be done so clearly, cleanly, and for the well-being of all. And please use me. All aspects of the subject, known and unknown to me. Use every aspect, subconscious, subconscious, and unconscious to me, that I may serve as the channel of guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power that you sent me here to be, understanding that I get better every time I do it. And I'm willing to play that game in the timeline, the golden timeline. Particularly for IMBOLC, bring through the clarity, the guidance, the grace, the knowledge, the wisdom, the power necessary, and the piety and the mercy. Now we may address what needs to be addressed within us in this season, in a very challenging timeline on planet Earth indeed. Thank you. So motivate. And so it is. Alright, while we're here, you don't have to open your eyes. If you did, it's okay, but close them again if you can. And take a few deep breaths just to kind of clean the energetic palette. And I want you to think of someone that you find very attractive, and I'm talking second chakra attractive, that you are attracted to romantically, sexually. Usually celebrities are easier, right? Because public domain, the chances of you actually running into them kind of slim to none. But just imagine one. And now imagine them smiling at you. Like you, not just a face in the crowd, you. And notice what's going on in that area 2 inches below the navel. Is it going uh-huh? Or uh-uh? Chances are it's going Now, take a deep breath. And if you know what your sun sign is, most people do. In my case, I'm a Virgo. I'm going to ask the yes or no question. Am I a Virgo sun sign? Very similar feeling. Might be different than the celebrity smiling at you, whoever it is, but it is that affirmative. Now I'm going to ask a yes or no question that I know the no answer to. All right. Am I a Gemini sun sign? No. Instant, wasn't in the head, it was in the gut, right? Second chakra, no. Right, let's go back to the celebrity. Let's see who mine is. Now think of someone that really you don't even want to ever cross paths with. It can be someone that you know or somebody that you don't know. Oh, and imagine them smiling and winking at you. Oh, and there's your no. Nice cleansing breath. And go back to the celebrity quickly if you want. Hi. And open your eyes. All right. So that's sacral voice. I mean, that is like a thumbnail sketch, itty bitty teeny tiny way. But it is developed, right? It's like learning a language. Learning a language is around second chakra intuition. So, putting this all together now with what we're going to do, we are going to take some, like I said, some frankincense oil here, but I thought, in case you can't get your hands on frankincense oil, I order mine through Amazon, the planetary rulers of the herbs of the sun. Now, I have a copy of Incense Oils and Brews somewhere. I just can't find it up in my room of requirement. So I'm going with my handy dandy, always go to Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. In the back, the appendices, I guess they're called. They break things down by planetary rulers and stuff like that. So I'll just read you alphabetically what these are for the planet of the sun. Acacia angelica, which is Archangelica, Angelica, Archangelica. Arabic gum or gum arabica. Ash, which is a tree. Bay, which is a leaf. Bay leaf oil you can get, but it's very intense. Benzoin, not hard to find. Bromeliad, I understand it's a trilogy by Terry Pratchett. Carnation doesn't have much of a scent, but if you have carnations, obviously. Cashew, I think a legume. Technically, not a nut. Cedar, so cedar oil is not hard to find. Celandine, that sounds like a great name for a British heroine, female hero. Centauri, which I guess is raised by centaurs. I don't know. Chamomile, there you go. Easy enough to find. Chicory, if you're into that sort of thing. Chrysanthemum, which is a fun word, chrysanthemum. Lots of lip movement. Cinnamon, easy to find. Citron, this is that jelly stuff that they put in cannolis. Chocolate chips are nothing, baby. Copal. Excuse me, copal made me cough. I love copal. It's a resin. It's very much for unconditional love. Eyebright, which is an herb, obviously, for the eyes. Frankincense, as I said. Ginseng, not hard to find. Golden seal. You can probably find it in all sorts of different forms. I don't think it smells very good, but golden seal. Hazel. A tree. Heliotrope, a purple flower, but sacred to Apollo. Juniper. Juniper berries. Of course, they're juniper berries. They're juniper bushes, right? Lime, not lemon. That's lunar. Liquid amber. All one word. Liquid amber. Sounds like a good stripper name. Lovage. Marigold. Good old-fashioned marigold. Mastic, as in the gum, not the beach. Mistletoe. Sounds like a foot ailment. You know what mistletoe is. Oak. Olive. Olive, you too. Orange, right? Orange. Palm, any old palm. Peony, pineapple. Rice, rosemary oil, easy to find. Rowan, which is a tree. Rue, not necessarily McClanahan. Although be careful if you're Mediterranean. Some people have allergies. There's a Mediterranean allergy to the herb rue. And then you rue the day you brought rue. Saffron, good old that golden yellow saffron. St. John's wort. Sandalwood, easy to find. Sesame, I love me some sesame seeds. Sunflower, obviously. Tangerine. Tea. Got some regular old tea. Grab some tea. And then spill the tea. Work. Boots the house down. Walnut. And witch hazel. So there you go. Got some solar herbs to play with. Like I said, I'm using that. Working with an orange stone for the second chakra, and this will be my touchstone. I have a big piece of black jet that I used for root chakra, not having it on the table right now because we're focusing on second chakra. But by the end of, by the time we hit Samhain, I will have 8 Sabbat stones charged and working together. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and a little goes a long way with essential food grade anything. But since it's really hard to anoint a candle, ring around the top, ring around the bottom, ring around the center, and blend when you're doing a tea light, just going around clockwise. And then I anoint the candle, and then I sniff my fingers. And I'm putting it in a Himalayan sea salt holder. Votive holder there. Oh, and because you can't see this, on top of a pentacle that is facing you, so the pointy is facing me, but I figured it was just better for the camera that way. Yeah. Let's cap this. Let's put that over there. So we've got our element of air / water with the oil in the fire, in the earth, with a piece of earth as a touchstone. So let's look at our element of air, spirit, right? When I am at my most powerful, when my creativity is given a voice, but I want you to underline that word creativity and make it a Mad Lib, right? As we do this, because I'm going to be doing some breath work a little bit. We're not doing this for very long. It's not a 20-minute process here. Just to kind of get the energy going, I'm going to be doing like a sacral breath, bringing my breath all the way down there and then all the way back up. I am my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice, when my artistry is given a voice, when my passion is given a voice, when my piety, when my mercy, etc. You with me? Good. All right. I guess that's about it. Let's rock and roll. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. Let's conjure a little for some IMBOLC. Breathe. The blessing of the candles of Candlemas too. Let's see what we got in our belly. Breathe. Let's do a little blessing first. Water and earth, air and fire combine to transform and inspire. Align us with divine desire. Our highest lives we now require. Elements guide so that we may be on our paths and on them stay. We ask thee now, show us the way of what the divine desires this day. O Lady High, O Consort bright, illumine us now with your light. Black spirits and white, red spirits and gray, come ye, that may, around and around, throughout and about, the good come in, the bad keep out. Black spirits and white, red spirits and gray, come ye, that may, around and around, throughout and about, the good come in, the bad keep out. Black spirits and white, red spirits and gray, come ye, that may, around and around, throughout and about, the good come in, the bad keep out. Black spirits and white, red spirits and gray, come ye, that may, around and around, throughout and about, the good come in, the bad keep out. So want to be, so it is. As I call to our collective pantheons of the divine now, in this time and in this hour, we call upon divine mystic power. Open the gateways to grace. I call forth the maiden grace of humility to know that we do not know, but that we are willing to be shown. We call upon the mother grace of hope, that we alone do nothing, but with the divine all things are possible, and that there is a plan in play bigger and better than we can even imagine. The golden thread through the labyrinth of life, the golden timeline. And I call for the crone grace of endurance, that we call upon a love, a power, and a wisdom beyond this world. The eternal love, power, and wisdom of the divine within all things. And that we may endure all that is required for us to fulfill our role in this plan, to live our best lives, to live wisely and well, for our well-being and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And with the gateway graces called and open, flood us now with the second chakra grace of piety, and the second chakra grace of mercy. Grant us the grace of piety that we may honor one another, spoken and unspoken, known and unknown, for the contracts that we have, twin flame, soulmate, whatever sacred contracts exist between us, that we may teach and learn as we need to teach and learn, that we may burn away the contracts done, releasing them fully out the back, knowing that we did our best, and in that give ourselves the grace of mercy to know that we're always doing the best that we can, and everyone's always doing the best that they can, no matter what the behavior may look like. No one can do better than what they know at the time. With how much pain is in their system, how much lead to gold ratio there needs to be alchemized. And so may we extend that mercy to those past who did not do well by us. And may we extend that mercy to ourselves, getting that it is a learning curve. And that one-on-one relationships are tricky. Friend, family member, lover, enemy, political official, boss, co-worker, neighbor, stranger. Grant us the grace of piety to know that in there is a soul on a journey just like we are. A sacred being, eternal and immortal, birthless, deathless, guiltless, sinless. And the more we see that in them, the more we will know it in ourselves. The more we are willing to extend that mercy, that is an immortal being in there. This is probably not their first time on planet Earth. It's probably not their last. Me too. So I honor where they are without having to get involved. If my second chakra says we're out of here, we're out of here. But may we also be blessed with the mercy to understand that we are somebody else's villain, somewhere, sometime, throughout time. That every hero is a villain at some point in the journey. And that we've played all different roles in this world over and over and over again, but we forget. But the soul doesn't. The soul remembers and records all we've learned so that we can apply it again and again and again from lifetime to lifetime, especially through our creativity and what we are attracted to. So we turn to our mantra, a simple mantra to expand our inner power, our belly power, our sacral power. We are our most powerful when our creativity is given a voice. And I am at my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. But my voice need not always be verbal. My creativity can be given a voice through dance, through movement, through yoga, through tai chi, through working out, through house cleaning, through art of any kind, through cooking, through crafts, through feeling. I am at my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. And I am at my most powerful when my sexuality is given a voice, however I may experience that masculine, feminine, fluid, anywhere in between, because it's all one at core. But we experience it as polarity, the yin and the yang, the feminine, the masculine, the sacred priestess and the sacred priest within the second chakra. The second sphere in the Kabbalistic tree of life, Chesed, if I'm correct, the phallus, the creative pump, the creative energy. And yet it is the lunar plexus below the solar plexus, that guidance, that grace, that element of water, earth being in the root, water being in the second, to feel our way, whether to act or not, whether to speak or not. Yet we are at our most powerful when our creativity, our sexuality, our piety, and our mercy are given a voice. Even if that voice is through simple action and contemplation, even if that voice is through any expressing of the divine feminine through the divine masculine into work, may we all rise into that power. And may we give the kindness we seek. And may we, even silently through prayer, breathe that grace into the second chakra and send it to those who seem to be dealing with greed. And send them mercy, because they seem to be starving in a bottomless pit that always needs more. And we are there too in our own ways. And there is not just greed for money, there's a greed to be right, and a greed for power, and a greed for attention. Near endless. So as I heal within myself and acknowledge the starving greed of the deadly sin and others that I have at myself in my ways, the greed of control, rather than surrender, to relax into piety, because it is our more merciful soul that knows that language well, and that when our creativity, our sexuality, our love, our wisdom, our sacral power is given a voice, that we may react and then respond. Take the moment to be kind and patient in reverence to the other, as well as in reverence to those voices inside of ourselves that may well be starving for the love that only we can give them. And may we all be blessed. As a result, as one of us heals, all of us heal. Every one-on-one relationship in our life, including our relationship to other substances, one-on-one, other people, of course, as well as to our relationship with money and finance and support. It's all here to teach us. It's all here to make us better. And by the blessing of Breed, of Bridget, of Hestia, of Vesta, of the goddesses of fire, of the sacred temple, one sacred abode, that we may all be purified in the best way possible, allowing our light to shine at full capacity. And I ask that this, fill in the blank, orange calcite be my touchstone for this year, till IMBOLC next, as a touchstone of piety and mercy, creativity and sexuality at its most powerful in a learning curve, growing day by day. Because we are at our most powerful. I am at my most powerful when my creativity is given a voice. For the well-being of all, and with harm to none. As I will it, so let it be done. So let it be. And so it is. Blessed IMBOLC. So simple, really. Grab a rock, grab a candle, grab an oil, and do your research. Look it up. Look it up. Hum a mantra. I'll be doing this every day for a couple of days. Why? Because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Markangelo of Lyons, and you can call me Mal, and I got a lot of work ahead of me. I'm going to need this second chakra on fleek, on point, whatever on fleek means. But I wanted to thank you so much for playing with me today. And certainly once this hits the rest of the world, like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell if you want more of me. And certainly if you really want to come Patreon on Patreon. Not even putting the words over my head for this one. Patreon.com/DrawingTheCircle. And if you are one of my humans, my heroes, my witches, my immortals, and my god or goddesses, thank you so much. I love you, my patrons. I love giving you stuff early, and plus you got the video, or you will get the video, setting up for this video, the redoing of the magical altar hutch behind me, and only my patrons are getting that, maybe till next year. So thank you so much. I love you all so much for watching, wherever you are. May you be blessed, and may all who watch this be blessed, and may all who watch those who watch this be blessed. Hail, blessed IMBOLC, blessed, blessed be.